Sign up, you'll get a free carriage clock as well.
Warning. Although the grass may be greener on the other side, it's certainly not for racing on. Your health is at risk if you race with the in-laws. Subject to status quo. Saga Racing. If you're over the hill, it's all downhill from here.
Missed an episode of Stocks Radio? I feel your pain, brother. Missing an episode can bring on mental episodes and life-changing circumstances. However, there is a solution on the horizon. iTunes! Simply open up iTunes, go to podcasts and search for Stocks Radio. Hit subscribe and it doesn't cost you a penny. And the next episode is dropped straight into your listening device. Rate, review and subscribe and never miss an episode again. Warning, missing an episode doesn't actually bring on mental episodes. Your experience may differ. Yet the tops can go down as well as up. Your home is at risk if you set fire to it.
Those jolly good eggs at Stocks Radio need you. Yes, you, dear listener. We need reporters to give us interviews on the spot. Fancy yourself as next Steve Linfield? Commentary gigs are available. Or if you just want to get Gummy on air, like my grill, we have that too. Just drop us a line at Stocks Radio on Twitter, facebook.com/Stocks Radio, or indeed visit our site at stocksradio.co.uk. Okay, spiffing.
Missed an episode of Stocks Radio? I feel your pain, brother.
Yeah, you gotta take me out tonight.
Yes, if you're listening, Samantha, good evening. I'm so dead. Not much more dead than an usual episode anyway. At least she's not here to hit me this week. Welcome back to Stocks Radio. It's me, Jonny Hoare, with you. Our good friend Stuart Donnelly is here from land of GMP. And from the land of Nuts Corner and Ballymena. And from Northern Ireland, it's our good friend Nathan O Kane. Good evening, Nathan, again.
Well, Jonny, how are you keeping?
I'm good, I'm grand, as they say. Right, there's your big moment, mate. It is now time to talk about the British Championship at over in Ireland.
Nuts Corner.
For the first time in nearly 20 years. It's going to be an interesting one. A lot of eyes were open when they said, ooh, going to take the British to Ireland. It's
strange combination.
It is indeed. Some would say, if you were of a 1970 vintage, it was a little bit Irish itself. But we don't use those kind of parlance now. It is very much a case that, eyes were opened when Nuts Corner was announced as a British Championship venue. Now, for the people who have not been to Ireland, you can describe the layout of the track at Nuts Corner. What kind of size would you say it would be in comparison to, say, tracks on the mainland?
From the track, I've only been to Cowdenbeath over across the water, so that's my comparison. And it's
nothing like that.
It's smaller. It's smaller. Short track with a figure of 8 sort of complexion. Only we never race figure 8. Quite a big infield, safe areas. Big
long,
on a whole.
Tight corners. Would you say long, straight, tight corners?
Quite short straights. It's not. From what I've heard, it's great for bangers. Bangers like the track because it's short and they don't get to run away.
Well, well, someone would say that was a bit like the old Newton Abbott then, because you said short straights and big corners. Yeah, interesting. So we've got Ballymena, obviously. That is, I believe, in some kind of showground, isn't it?
Yeah, Ballymena Showgrounds. It's quite a similar setup to Cowdenbeath. Football pitch in the middle of it. stands, terracing, seating, and pits are down in the event arena down behind it. So it's a showground event. So it is based in the heart of Ballymena.
Yeah, it's brilliant that. So, what can the English, Scottish mainland punter expect from Northern Ireland?
It's different. It's quite a different scene. I've experienced Cowdenbeath and Northern Ireland, and to be honest, I see the two of them, compare them quite regularly, but there's something about racing back at home. It's just a bit different to the mainland. The drivers are sort of similar at both tracks because there's not a great number of tracks over here. You don't really get much difference in drivers. The minute F2s over at home are sitting around the 20 mark of home drivers, so they'll obviously be in big contention for the British, considering it's their home tracks. Good setup at both tracks. Good park. Nuts Corner is parking in the bank, so if you're there early enough to get a spot, get up on the bank, sit in your car, watch the racing.
Good old arena parking. Can't beat it.
Good old arena parking.
Until a tyre flies out on your car.
Well, in saying that, we had something similar. There not that long ago, we had, similar to the Dennis Midler incident, we had a flying car, Christopher Kincaid, done a few somersaults and ended up on top of the wall, the catch netting. So we have our own version of the Red Arrows as well.
Oh yeah, because I remember Gavin Fagan doing a barrel roll, which is quite spectacular as well. Yeah.
The Irish Open weekend, 2 or 3 years ago, he started at one end of the straight and finished in the infield at the other end of the straight. Quite spectacular rollover as well.
Yeah, you can't, when you do it right. That's the one thing I will say. Realistically,
Correct.
if you were to, obviously you have a situation at this precise moment in time very similar to what Stuart's got. You've got the noisy neighbours, the super stocks down the road now at the Agadoo and obviously Tullyrowan. Now, with that kind of situation, is it? I know that's kind of the numbers are dwindling and people are coming back to Formula 2. Is that correct from the supers?
Well, at the start, it's the same as everything else. If something new starts, you try it out. It's quite similar. Although competition's always good with a similar formula running. Although our numbers at the start maybe suffered a wee bit, but now they're coming back and it's still a bustling formula. The F2s over at home, over here, they've always been spectacular regardless of the numbers. It's a brilliant formula that's out.
Yes, David Parker's been on again. He said, try almost 30. Well, it's great to see that Northern Ireland is in rich health at the moment with the Formula 2s, because obviously if you're getting 20 cars a meeting, that's more than Barford are, that's more than Buxton are, that's more than a domestic Skaggy would do. So, you're not doing too badly, but like I say, I know you're getting the drivers turning up at every meeting, which is always handy, but it is a situation now where I can name at least 20, well, not 20, but I can certainly name at least 15 Irish drivers, which years ago you wouldn't have been able to. There was a fair amount of Irish drivers that come over and do race on the mainland, the most recent of which is young McKinstry, Bradley.
Bradley?
He's been putting it about a bit on the tracks over here.
Even, especially at home, he came up from the junior formula whenever he turned 16, came in and just sort of slotted in to the F2s and going from strength to strength, sitting up at Redruth at the minute. Final wins, can't really fault him. He's doing well in the formula and he's showing the older drivers that have been there a bit longer that even the new blood can still hold their own and challenge the best.
David Park is Fulton knowledge. He says Nuts Corner is 0.224 miles long, which would probably equate it to, I think, Taunton kind of size. So that could be potentially quite good to Little Roch.
Taunton cheaper Benz.
So what is, well, we can say what. Obviously, you want to keep a lot of things under your hat. All that we know about the weekend is obviously the British Championship on the Sunday, the qualifying heats on the Saturday night. We know that it's going to be a certain amount of heats, minimum of 3, whether it's 3 out of 4, 3 out of 5, whatever, to determine the grid. And then we have the grid the following morning, and it's usually, I think, race 1 of the weekend, so we will find out what's happening there. Lots of things going on. Tell us what's on the agenda for the weekend. Obviously, we started Ballymena, don't we?
Ballymena for the Irish Open Championship on Friday night. Someone who's going to be joining us in a short space of time, hopefully, Ryan McCrory, is the current Irish Open champion, so he'll be in the defence there. Friday night, be racing, and then first night staying over for probably a lot of drivers. And you've got Nuts Corner on Saturday. The gates are opening at Nuts Corner at 11, with practice starting at 1 o'clock for the F2s. This information for any drivers that maybe need it is on Nuts Corner Raceway's Facebook page. And drivers will be permitted to stay over at the raceway if they need to, if maybe they don't have any accommodation sorted. Crowd favourite to try and provide a wee bit of entertainment on Saturday and Sunday will be the 2-seater F2 that is going to be doing passenger rides with the proceeds. Yes, quite popular at the moment. Quite a full fixture for it, for people wanting to go out. With, of course,
your proceeds go to the Ben Fund. I was just going to say, it's Sharon Butler of the Ben Fund is a willing passenger. Who's going to drive it? That's the question. Or is that too in hand?
No, whenever the people were booking in for it, they were given the choice of the world champion driving, or they could pick their own driver. Okay. So there's a mixture of drivers doing passenger rides throughout the day. The minute I think we are full with all the bookings we can take, just due to time and that, and obviously drivers will not want to be doing too much when they've got a British Championship to be racing in. So that there is going to be running throughout practice sessions on Saturday and Sunday, and there's also going to be some of that for the local drivers and local spectators. There's going to be some passenger rides at the practice night and Wednesday night as well, just to try and reduce the numbers.
Okay. Looking at it here, Sharon Blood's just come back to us and said she's going out with Kelvin as her driver, so the world champ is going to take out Sharon for a lap or two. Sharon, it may be better if you get some hot laps in for the ladies' race coming up in Benford, and you take the wheel, you drive it, and let Kelvin be the passenger. See who's the bravest. Then I'm going to get a clip round the ear for that, aren't I? Yeah, probably. There we go. So yeah, all sounds really good. I am gutted that I'm going to miss this. Obviously, unfortunately, because of funds, I cannot make it over, which is a shame, because it was one that I thought, this is an opportunity for me to go and see Northern Ireland. Now, obviously, Northern Ireland is now becoming very much a popular tourist destination, thanks to a certain television programme, which remains nameless, but we were watching last night. Thank you very much. And of course, a certain stuntman over here, Mr. Mead, is a regular over at Nuts Corner, because he's often over there filming Game of Thrones. So so it is an opportunity to go and have a look at Northern Ireland as well, because obviously the two tracks. What's the distance between the two? What is it, about an hour between the two tracks? Is it?
Depending on the driver, it differs just the speed you can go. I'd say it's about 15-20 miles between the two tracks. Not too far. You've sort of got Antrim in the middle, which good ties with the airport, the international, and then it's sort of 20 minutes either way from Antrim.
So it's not too bad. So yeah, so plenty of opportunities there for to go and have a look at things in the meantime. What do you think is going to happen with regard to the championship race? Then is it going to be, obviously it's a real good opportunity to show your wares. Obviously, with the location that you are, do you think this is the limitation of the championships you could have? at Nuts Corner? Would there be an opportunity to perhaps even have the world